everyone, it is Toby here, back for another video, and in today's video it is sad. It is going to be mourning the loss of the garage gym. This is the last session I am recording and the last session I am doing in this garage gym before I move back to where I go to university, Cardiff, and I have the bedroom gym, which long-term fans of the channel will be used to. I've been back here at my parents' over Christmas for a couple months, you know, making the most of the big space in the garage gym, making the most of having the driveway to do more strongman stuff. But as of tomorrow, I will be moving back into the bedroom gym, sorry. But don't worry, that means the videos are only going to change location. They're not going to go anywhere. We're just going to go back to working out in a bedroom. But I'm going to miss having this space. There's lighting, there's space. It's been making some really good videos in here, and since I've been back, my channel's just, you know, chugging along really nicely, going well. And yeah, hopefully we'll be able to get a bigger space in Cardiff soon. But yeah, gonna miss this garage gym. But today we are here because we're gonna be doing a pretty heavy overhead session. We're gonna be focusing with log press today, and we're gonna try and get a heavy triple over our heads. So without further ado, let's jump right in to the session plan. So today we are going to be starting off with the log press. We're going to be working up to a set of 1 to 3 for the top set, so aiming for that triple, but if we only get a double or a single, doesn't matter too much. Just trying to get some heavy weight for 1 or 2 reps overhead. We're going to be trying to get 90 kilos or just about 200 pounds overhead, which should be a really nice number to be able to get, because for the longest time 90 kilo was my PR and I was striving to get it. My PR is now 95, but if we can get 90 for a double or a triple, that'd be an amazing new PR, and I will absolutely love it if we can get that. So I'm feeling good. I've hit some pretty heavy weights this week, especially with my pressing. So I'm feeling good, I'm feeling confident, I'm feeling up there, I'm feeling buzzing. I've had my pre-workout, well, some of it anyway. And the pre-workout I have, if you're interested, is the Myoband Hot Shot pre-workout. If you go to the link in the description and use code TobyLively, if you use code TobyLively1, you can get 10% off. And yeah, the pre-workout is so good it makes you mess up your words. But it's been really good, really buzzes me, and yeah, helps me out if you use the code. So please go and do that. But anyway, what we're going to do, yeah, we're going to do the log. Then we're going to move on to pin press, which is, we're going to use a seated position, and we're going to use pin press either with the log or the barbell, depending on how I feel and what I want to do. And we set the pins at about chin height and just explode off the pins and control back down, really working that tricep. As you can see, my tricep has grown a fair bit from doing these. Really great for the lockout of the lift, because that is where I struggle with pressing. I have no problem getting it up to my chest, no problem popping it off the chest. It's just the last little bit of lockout I sometimes struggle with. So getting stronger triceps can't hurt anything. So yeah, do a lot of pin press on shoulder day. And then we're going to move on to some barbell Z press, you know, the seated one. And I do that purely because it is bloody difficult and it really roasts your core, your stability. You don't need a lot of weight to do it, so the intensity isn't that high, but the difficulty and the stability of it is. So it's a really brilliant exercise for working that stability, because a lot of the time with log I find myself wobbling all over the place and I need to work that stability, so hopefully that'll be good. And then we move on to a couple optional exercises. Depending on how the first 3 exercises go, these can either be just some light pump exercises, some dumbbell work to work the unilateral stuff. We can crack out the Viking press, just anything that's going to roast and toast the shoulders and triceps off just as a finisher. And then we always finish with what I like to call a bodyweight finisher. But obviously there's not many exercises you could do that are bodyweight for your shoulders, so I just like to finish off with banded face pulls just to work those rear delts, because the rear delts are one of the most important and neglected muscles for your overhead. So make sure you are working rear delts on both back and shoulder day. You can never do them too much, because if you have big strong rear delts, your stability, your pressing power is going to go up. So yeah, that is the session plan. Without further ado, we are now about to jump straight in to my log press, and we'll see what we'll be able to get up to and how heavy we can really do. just done the 70 kilo warm up. A little bit unstable, I won't lie. Feeling a little bit, I don't know, something weird. Feeling quite unstable in the legs. Can't seem to find my groove. Might be because my legs are quite fatigued from doing trap bar yesterday with squats. I don't know what it is. I can't seem to get in the right position. Every time I go up, I either fall a bit forward, fall a bit back. So that's why I had to drop it after the first rep there. Fell forward, so I just had to drop it. Yeah, strange one. I'm gonna try and keep a bit more stable on the next warm up. But what might happening is end up maybe getting 90 kilo for a single or a double. I don't reckon I'll get a triple if I have to re-clean it at any point. So we'll see. Let's keep going. Well, there we have it. I got it for 2. I nearly got it for 3. I did say that if I had to re-clean it, I probably wouldn't get the third one, which is what happened. I lost my balance after the second rep. It fell forward, so I just had to drop it onto the tire. Hope I had enough energy to clean it and then press it again. As you saw, I got the clean, but the press was not happening. Oh my goodness, I got to about my forehead, couldn't push past. My triceps were just absolutely fried. But adding in the knee sleeves, which I did after that little video segment about me being unbalanced on the warm-ups, increased my stability ridiculously. I don't know why I've never worn knee sleeves on log before. It makes sense because you go into the sitting position to clean it up, but it just means your stability's a lot better. So in future, I'm definitely going to wear my knee sleeves right from the start of my pressing sessions to get that stability, and hopefully we'll be able to get 100 kilo on the log soon. But I'm very happy with 90 for 2. I weigh 97 kg at the minute, so 97 and a half, that sort of area. So we're encroaching on that body weight PR, which is something I've been chasing. I've set my goal for 2022 of getting a body weight log press. And I'm encroaching that in January. It's brilliant. I'm probably going to get that at some point in February. So very happy with that. I need to set a new goal for log, which is going to be fun. But yeah, very happy with that. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to drop the weight down to 80% of the top set there. So top set was 90 kilos, so dropping the weight down to about 72, which is going to be, well, exactly 72. The log's 52, so it's pretty easy to get to 72. And we're going to just do a couple more triples, nothing too serious, just, yeah, finish off the shoulders, get that motion back in place. Because, yeah, I like to hit a really heavy top set, which I can't repeat, to shock my muscles and get them used to moving those sort of weights. And then I like to drop it down a bit and work on the technique and work moving relatively heavy weights, so 80% of the top set, still with good form. And even though the muscles are fatigued from the top set, they can still usually just about manage the drop downs. And then, yeah, after that, we will move on to the pin press, which I will do in a sort of talk segment where I overlay footage and explain exactly why I do it and why it's something that's made a permanent place in my program after log pressing. So yeah, I'll catch you back when we're talking about pin pressing. So pin press, why do I do it? Why do I do it the way I do? And why do I do it many different ways between different weeks. So I think pin press is one of the most helpful variations of the overhead press you can do if you struggle with the lockout. If you struggle with the power of your chest and the leg drive and that stuff, this is probably not the best thing. But if your triceps struggle and you struggle to lock out those heavy weights when you get them just above your head, and you just need to blast past to lock out, if you get to that sticking point and just get stuck, then this is a good exercise for you. So what you do is you either take a seated or standing position and you set the pins, so the safeties of the rack, to about just below your sticking point. So for me, I set it at my chin because my sticking point tends to be around my eyebrows. So what that teaches you to do is press from a dead stop. So that means that you are pressing without the momentum carried from your shoulders, your legs. It's purely just pressing with your triceps up to lock out. And it is really good for blasting through those sticking points because you're teaching your body to, if it gets stuck, just to keep pressing and press from being stuck. So if you think about it, the dead stop kind of acts like your sticking point. So what I'm doing today is I am opting to use the trap bar and do a standing variation of the pin press. So last couple of weeks I've done seated with the barbell, and I was finding that it wasn't really carrying over that well because my shoulders were doing a lot of the work, my triceps were pretty fried, and I was doing barbell pin press for bench anyway. So I thought, why not mix it up this week and use the trap bar, because the trap bar obviously is a neutral grip, it is closer to that of the log, and it feels a lot nicer on my shoulders, if I'm completely honest. And the only reason I'm not using the log for the pin press is because, one, the log is difficult to get up into the rack, and two, the log is so thick that it's quite far away from your chest, so you end up leaning quite a bit far back, and my lower back's already pretty fatigued from having to do that with the log. So with the trap bar, it allows you to stay more upright and press as if your head is already through, which is brilliant, and it just helps with that lockout. So what I've got is I've got about 65, 66 kilos loaded up on the trap bar right now, and I'm just going to press it for a couple sets of 2. I like to do higher sets rather than higher reps. So higher reps for me aren't really that useful because I do strongman, and the only time you ever break 10 reps is when you're doing like a deadlift for reps in competition, something like that, and you're really, really good at it. Most of the time it's for a max or in a medley, and you're only doing a couple reps, no more than 5 usually, with like medleys and stuff for overhead. So occasionally get an overhead for reps event, but that's floor to overhead, so the pressing isn't usually the bit that goes, it's just your entire energy gets zapped. So I don't like to focus on doing really high rep presses, so I prefer to do lots of sets, minimal rest with low reps. So I do 8 sets of 2, rest maximum of a minute between sets, and that allows me to sort of do more of a giant set and just toast my body with heavier weights without the volume and frequency being that high. So yeah, it's like more intense and more heavy, which is what I like, but you're still getting that volume working. You're doing 8 sets of 2, and it allows me to keep my breath, keep my balance, keep myself tight, and just be able to fully put my focus into roasting these triceps. So yeah, what I like to do is using the trap bar, it's just easier to get up there than the log. I like to do it from a dead stop about my chin, but you can choose wherever you want to do the dead stop. What I wouldn't say is don't do it right below lockout, because that is basically just you very slightly locking out and supporting a crap ton of weight. Yes, it's good for your ego, but you want to make it difficult. So pick a point where starting from that dead stop is really, really hard. You don't want to be moving too much weight with this. You want to be doing less than you obviously do on the log in the first exercise. And you want to be making it feel harder than you were before. But that is basically why I do pin press and how I do pin press. Hopefully that's useful for you guys. Let's move on to Z press. So Z press is basically where you sit on the floor with your legs at slightly an angle, and yeah, you just do overhead press seated, but you're on the floor, you're not wearing a belt. It's a lot more unstable. Trust me, trying to keep yourself sat down on the floor while overhead pressing is really, really hard. So the weight is considerably lower than we would usually do for normal overhead press, but it really works that stability, especially in your rear delts, your shoulders, your upper back. That area I keep talking about as being really important for overhead press. And of course, it keeps your core really, really stable because you're having to keep yourself upright. And yeah, it's just really difficult, really hard. Never Never an easy thing to do, but I love to do it every single overhead pressing session because it really does just roast off my shoulders, finish off my upper back and my core. This really keeps me stable. I don't have to use a lot of weight, so it's not that taxing on the body, but the instability and stuff like that really works. All those little muscles that you don't really think about all too much, you know, the really important ones that, yeah, are really, really good for stability and all that. So without further ado, let's jump into a little montage of my 3 sets of 6 of my Z press. Yeah, let's do it. So they were a lot easier than they were last time I did them last week, which is very, very good. I started off doing these with 45 kilos at the start of this program, and then we were slowly working up, and now we're on 55 kilos for 3 sets of 6 pretty easily. So I reckon next week we can go up to 60 kilos. But yeah, on that last set there, I don't know if you saw, after the 5th rep, I had to catch my breath again and go again, but that's because I felt something weird in my shoulder. It wasn't like a pain or a twinge or something like that. It just got really tense, which isn't a great sign. So after that set, I got, you know, the massage ball on it, gave it a little roll out, and it's still just like a little off. So I don't think it's smart to continue doing massive shoulder pressing stuff, loads of side raises, loads of front raises, that sort of thing. It's not the intelligent thing to do. So I'm going to have to call this session a little bit early. I'll do a couple like rehabby type movements, some rotator cuff stuff. That's a really hard thing to say it. Say it 3 times fast and let me know if you can in the comments. But yeah, I'm going to do some of that, some banded stuff, just some light band holds, that sort of thing, just to rehab the shoulder a little bit and hope that it's not anything serious, anything that's going to bother me over the next few weeks. Because every time I feel a little tweak, a little twinge, something that's not quite right, I make sure I stop, I make sure I take it seriously and rehab it. And usually, every time this happened so far, it has been absolutely fine the next day, nothing wrong, just something that, if I had pushed it, could have been something serious. So that is my big takeaway piece of advice from this video, is if you feel anything that is slightly off, slightly not right, don't try and work through it. Don't think, oh, maybe I just did something wrong. Smash it out. If it really doesn't feel right, just stop, do some light rehab exercises. You're not going to lose gains by taking half a session off, not even half a session, less than half a session off to secure the fact that you won't get an injury. Because I see a lot of people get injured, and that's because they push through bad form, they push through little niggles and tweaks. You know, it's one of those things that it's just not worth it, and especially not for me, it's not worth it. When I love making these videos and stuff, if I had to take a couple months off because I've injured myself, then the videos would suffer, you guys won't have good content, I'd be down, I'd be depressed, so it's just not worth the risk for me. So yeah, what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to do some light rehab work. I'm not going to film it or anything, it's probably not very interesting. If you do want me to make a video on about rehabbing injuries and stuff, I'll drop a video about that if you let me know in the comments down below, but I won't tack it onto the end of this one. This one's been long enough already, and I don't want to down the fact that I got 90 for 2 reps, and did some really strong pressing. I don't want to make this video all about the injury and stuff like that. I don't even think it is an injury. I just want to play it safe. So yeah, what I'm going to say is I'm going to say thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you found me doing 90 kilo for 2 inspiring. It felt really good. Felt very happy with it, considering I was chasing a 90 kilo log PR for so long. The fact I can rep it out now is really, really good and really, really makes me feel good. And yeah, I hope the exercises like the pin press and the Z press you'll take on board and try for yourself. I find them really useful. Don't be scared of the Z press, because that's the thing that's just tweaked my shoulder. It happens on everything. It's probably left over from trying that third rep on the 90 and it not going poorly. Something like that, and just pushing through it has made it not feel great. So it's just one of those things. It is what it is. I'm not too miffed about it. It's all right. But yeah, if you like the video, please be sure to leave a like down below. And if you've made it this far into the video and you haven't considered subscribing, I don't know what you're doing. I don't post too much. I won't clutter up your sub box or anything. I just post twice a week about me training, what I do, some reviews of equipment I get, just loads of strongman stuff, loads of gym stuff. So if you're into lifting, into strongman, I don't know why you wouldn't subscribe. It's a great place for it. I've been on a real streak with it at the minute, gaining 1 or 2 subs a day, which for me at my size is really, really great on YouTube. So I'm pushing to get 250 subscribers by Valentine's Day. So by February 14th, I know that is going to be a tough ask, because I pushed for 200 for Christmas and I hit 200 on Christmas Day. So if I could hit 250 on Valentine's Day, it'll be better than any date you guys could get me or anything like that. So that's what I'm pushing for. 250 on Valentine's Day. We're on 230 at the minute. Very, very doable, I think. So yeah, it's going to be one of those things that I hope to strive for, but I want to hit 1,000 this year, so I've got to set small goals along the way and make you guys absolutely smash out. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this session, and I've been Toby, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.